We are going to get into the half kneeling position so that we can do some things, clearly. For a hip flexion end range liftoff with a straight leg, we are going to get into the half kneel position and assume the position where we can feel a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So the hardest variation of this exercise is going to be in the most significant stretch you can find for your hamstrings or the most significant amount of hip flexion. We are not looking for additional spine flexion unless that is part of your programming, but if you are isolating the hip, we're gonna get into that deep position where you can feel a nice stretch. And then from there, we are going to test, can we do the liftoff in this position? What we are looking for the liftoff is squeezing the quad, keeping the leg straight, and lifting the leg straight up without feeling like we are really rounding our backs and moving our spines. If you cramp in this exercise, we want to back off the intensity a little bit, but still try to flirt along the edges of a cramp. It's okay to feel a cramp. We just don't want to push into it to the point where you have a full-blown spasm. As you do these and build strength, you should see the cramping or feel the cramping go away. Just might take a few repetitions or a few consistent training sessions. Now, if this is too hard and you cannot get your leg up without compensating, or you feel like you're moving all over the place and your spine is rounding, then we can make it a little bit easier by coming out of the position. We want to really think about having a little bit of an arched spine here to make sure we are locking that hip flexion position and isolating the hip. Then we can try from a different, easier position, doing the same movement, and now you might be able to do it from here, and if that's still too hard, then we can come back to this position. What we are trying to find in the position is where you can lift the leg with a lot of intention and force and contraction without compensating, and only an amount that is like enough for me to slide my hand underneath. If you can lift several inches, we need to make sure we are checking compensations, again, making sure the spine's not rounding. And we also want to then make it a little bit harder. So if you're not compensating and you're still clearing the ground, then we need to make it a little harder by going a little bit deeper into the movement. If you have any sort of numbness or tingling or back issues with this, then we definitely want to stay out of the movement. You can attempt to either make your foot relaxed or point your toe and see if that makes it better. But if not, this exercise is probably not best for you, and you probably need to find an alternative. But that is everything you need to know about a half kneeling hip flexion lift off.